All right. Thank you so much. Welcome to Birdland. On a nice Tuesday night. We're so happy you're here. I'm so happy these guys are here. You never know when you got 11 people in a band, but we all made it, and we're so happy. We're the Nighthawks, music of the 1920s and 30s, and I'm your band leader for this evening. My name is Vince Giordano. Thank you. Oh, I didn't know you cared. Anyway, we started off with a big fanfare from the Universal Picture Company, tune written by Jimmy McHugh, not only known for fanfares or semi-classical things like that, but he wrote one and Universal used it, and we are happy to play it some nights as our big getting to know you kind of number. This is what you're in for. Anyway, I'm just kidding. We have to have a special percussion instrument, and it's called a timpani or kettle drum. And we just happen to have a guy who brings in the kettle drums everywhere he goes. It's his trademark. And that's Paul Wells back there on the kettle drums. Yeah. Actually, the kettle drum, because I'm only allowed to bring one of them. There's two of them in my life, but I've got to negotiate with the guys in the band. All right, well, then we segued into something from back in 1927, written by Fletcher Henderson, a great pianist, arranger, and band leader. He had a real knack for getting fantastic people to play in his band. People like Louis Armstrong and Coleman Hawkins and Don Redman and Benny Morton. I can go on and on, but I shan't. That's called Variety Stomp, which is named after that publication, Variety, which is still in existence. And if you got a good review in those years in Variety, then that's a good thing. Feather in your cap. And he got a lot of great reviews. He used to play at Roseland. But anyway, we heard from John Kelso there on the trumpet. Evan Arnson on the alto sax. Sam Chess on the trombone. Nice. Dan Rosengarten on the piano there. He was there. And finally we had the wonderful Coleman Hawkins solo played by Mark Lopin. Yeah, all right. Here's one that's a little bit later, from the sort of late 1930s, written by a fellow named Raymond Scott. Raymond Scott had a very unique band on the radio in the 1930s, and he composed a lot of really strange tunes. And we're going to play one of them for you right now. It's called Twilight and Turkey. And these tunes were, pretty popular back in the 30s. I mean, they very weird. They weren't jazz and they weren't dance tunes. They were just Raymond Scott music. And in the 1950s, they were reused in a lot of Warner Brothers cartoons. The fellow Carl Stalling decided that they would fit his quirky cartoons, and he was right. So there was a renaissance in Raymond Scott. All right, here's Twilight and Turkey. 1, 2, 1, 2. Paul Wells. I liked it. and Turkey. This is a rhythm novelty. Yeah, that was kind of novel, all right. And we had some great drum work there from Paul Wells back there. And Mark Lopin on the tenor. Wow. And you could actually see some films of the Raymond Scott band. They're all dressed up in like exotic garb, playing these instruments that they're really miming to their own music. They have these very strange things and some very nicely not too much dressed ladies dancing to it. Anyway, all right, moving along. We'll go back to 1926, 27 or so, when this tune was written. This is called Buffalo Rhythm, and this was written by one of the great composers. I think it's one of my favorite composers too, is a guy named Harold Arlen. And at the time he wrote this, he was still using his name, Hyman Arluck. He was from Buffalo, and he decided, like, well, I'm going to write this tune called Buffalo Rhythm. And a bunch of bands recorded it, and later on, the tune got over to England, and a band called the Piccadilly Revels Band in London in 1929. They were a little late to the scene, but why not? So we used their version of Buffalo Rhythm, and here it is. 1, 2, 1, 2. Buffalo Rhythm by Harold Arlen. And by the way, you know, many of you people know his tunes. Just to mention a few, I mean, Stormy Weather, Get Happy, and of course, Over the Rainbow were 3 out of a zillion tunes that he wrote. He also arranged, and that was his arrangement, by the way, that we were playing. That was published in a stock arrangement, they call it. And Harold Arlen also was a great singer. He introduced many of his songs in the early 30s, working with bands like Leo Reisman and Stormy Weather. And it's fantastic. So who we had here? I had Mark Lopin there, a little bit on the tenor, and little breaks there by Dan Rosengard. They would normally do on a xylophone. Dan, you didn't bring your xylophone tonight?
No, I didn't.
I told you to put it in your back pocket, but he didn't do it. That's okay. And I think that was a little bit of Sam Chess on the trombone. And did we have something from let's see, something from Will Anderson, or was that Evan Arnson? I can't remember. It was Will. Will, that was your saxophone work, right?
I think so.
Will, and you've got some interesting news, Birdland news. Could you share it with us, please?
Sure, Uncle Vince. Well, I did want to mention I will be appearing upstairs here at Birdland this coming Saturday at 5:30, along with my twin brother Peter and a great drummer by the name of Paul Wells.
Yay!
And just to give you a little preview of the show, we're going to be playing all the same 12 notes. They're just going to be rearranged in different order. Also, I want to mention I have a product for sale tonight at the merchandise cart. And CDs, are a hard sell, but I thought, what would be more of a challenge? So I thought of a product that requires more human capital with a smaller profit margin. It's called a book. And I wrote this. It's called Songbook Summit, 15 Pioneers of American Sound. It chronicles the life stories of America's great songwriters like Duke Ellington, Cole Porter, George Gershwin, and Lady Gaga. Check it out. Thank you.
All right, Will Anderson. Nice. Hey, just one more little thing I want to mention. Of course, we have a wonderful crowd here tonight on Birdland on West 44th Street, but we also have a great crowd there on the internet, because tonight we are doing a live stream. We do our live streams, which is a broadcast for you older folks like me, and if you want to share this information with anyone or everybody, you just say, go to YouTube and type in Radio Free Birdland, and there you can catch the show. There's no cover, no minimum, clothing is optional, whatever. So anyway, check that out. All right, we're going to slow things down, play something that Duke Ellington did in 1927, and he collaborated with his trumpet man, a guy named James Bubber Miley, and it's called the Black and Tan Fantasy. 2, 1, 2, 3. great Brooklyn Miley solo. And, Will Anderson playing, I don't think the Rabbit was in the band yet at the time. I think it might have been Otto Hardwick or Otto Hardwick. That's right. They had a band. Had a trombone player, but to start over here. Sorry, Porky Pig just did this announcement for you. They had a they had a man named Tricky Sam Nanton, and he played the trombone. Well, we have our own Tricky Sam, but that's Tricky Sam Chess. There you go. Nice. Okay. And then Duke Ellington's piano solo by Dan Rosengart. Yeah, all right. Well, you know, having this band for so many years, we get requests. And one of the rules in the Nighthawks is we take requests, but we don't play them. And so we sometimes bend the rules. I mean, this tune was requested way back last year, so we figured we'd give it some time. And this tune was written by two great songwriters, Milton Ager and Jack Yellen. They wrote some neat tunes in the 1920s and a little bit of 1930, Happy Feet, and Happy Days Are Here Again, to name two out of many, many. This was used in the beginning of a Paul Whiteman film called The King of Jazz. And this was requested. They said, how come you don't ever play this tune? Music has charms. Well, there you go. Good, nice, good catch. He's going to be playing for the Mets next season. Here's some more. Good, nice. So we kind of adapted the Ferdy Grofé arrangement a little bit in a few other places. Music has charms. And Alex Tuku did some nice working for us. We're going to do a little bit of the Rhapsody in Blue here, too. So check out this is the rehearsal and the play, guys. So big crash, and then we come in with the Rhapsody, and hold on to the fermata, and I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll go, and hopefully I'll see you at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Music has charms that nothing else has. Music has charms, though it's classic or jazz. A symphony grand by Schubert or Brahms, popular band or a uke neath the palms. Melody in minor key can make the teardrops start. And then again the sad refrain can cheer a lonely heart. Sweet harmonies when there's someone in your arms. Oh baby, it's then that music has charms. teardrop star. And again a glad refrain can cheer a lonely heart. Sweet harmonies when there's someone in your arms. Oh baby, that's when music has charms. All right, how about these guys, Ben? Very nice. Andy Stein playing that hot violin solo. John Kelso on the trumpet. Let's see. Man, that's a lot of notes to play. That Fruity Grove. He could write some charts. All right, we're going to go to the West Coast. Actually, that was recorded on the West Coast originally, at the studios there, Universal Pictures. We're plugging up Universal, by the way, in case anybody has any connections at Universal Pictures. We're in between films right now, and our last film opened last week called The Bride. I don't know if anybody go see The Bride? Okay. Well, they put in 6 of our numbers, and the checks cleared. That was good. All right. On the West Coast back in the 1920s, right outside Los Angeles, there was a neat little place in Culver City called the Cotton Club. Another cotton club. There's a cotton club in New York, one in St. Louis, there was lots of cotton clubs all around. But this one was run by Frank Sebastian. They had a wonderful band there, called Paul Howard's Quality Serenaders. And Charlie Lawrence was the saxophone arranger. They had some wonderful players in that band. Lionel Hampton was playing drums and singing and doing all kinds of antics. Lawrence Brown was the trombone player, and he stayed in that band until Duke Ellington heard him, and then he just grabbed him away. And this is a neat little tune that Charlie Lawrence wrote and featured Lawrence Brown, called Harlem. 1, 2, 1, 2. great trombone work there, originally done by Lawrence Brown. It was done by Sam Chess. Sam Chess. All right. And was that Evan Arnson there playing that out? Yeah, there you go. Nice. And John Kelso. All right. So I just got a call before I got on tonight. A good friend of mine in Davenport named Josh Duffy. That's correct. Thank you. I'm glad these guys. They were all in it. He's a wonderful band leader in Davenport, where the place where Bix is buried, and where Bix Festival is played every year. And he has got a wonderful band there. And he's a big devotee of Bix and all things from around the Bix era and other bands too. And he mentioned that today is the anniversary of Gene Goldket's passing. Now, Gene Goldket was one of the great band leaders in the 1920s. He was a classical pianist, but he had a knack, like Fletcher Henderson, of getting amazing people together, like Bix Beiderbecke and Joe Venuti and Don Murray and the Dorseys, all in his band, and great arrangers too. My teacher worked for that band, a guy named Bill Chalice. And here's his arrangement of a tune written by Harry Warren and Henry Creamer. It's called Clementine from New Orleans. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Clementine from New Orleans. Andy Stein there on the hot Joe Venuti solo, and that was John Kelso playing the big solo, and Sam Chess playing some nice Bill Rank, and the drum work there was originally done by a guy who I knew, Chauncey Morehouse, and he couldn't make it tonight, so we had Paul Wells playing there. There you go. And Gene Goldket, thank you wherever you are. He passed in 1962. I had no idea. All right. Well, if you get a chance and you're out in Davenport or the Midwest, and I think it's around August, you gotta go check out the Bix the Big Spiderbeck Festival. There you go. Hey, speaking of Midwest, let's do this crazy tune written by Fred Fisher back in 1922. This is not a 1922 arrangement. It's a little bit later by the great Jimmy Dale in probably the 30s. It's called Chicago. Anybody from Chicago here tonight? That's what I figured. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Chicago, that's toddling town. Chicago, Chicago, I'll show you around. Bet your bottom dollar you lose the blues in Chicago, Chicago, the town that Billy Sunday couldn't shut down. On State Street, that great street, I just wanna say they do things they don't do on Broadway. And say, you'll have the time of your life. I saw a man who danced with his wife. Chicago, Chicago, my hometown. Believe it or not, we got another request that came in December. So let's get rid of that one. And it's a very fun little, strange little tune. It was a sort of a put-together band. Somebody would get a recording date, and they'd start calling guys. And Jack Pettis, a wonderful C-melody saxophone player and composer, he used some of the guys from the Ben Burney band. He was playing in the Ben Burney band. Al Goering, the piano player, possibly the drummer, Dylan Ober, and some of the trumpet guys. And then he got the wonderful Don Murray on the clarinet, who had just left Gene Goldcat. And then who else did he get? I'm trying to think. Eddie Lang. Now I forgot to mention that we had 2 numbers before, if you can remember that. This is for your little scorecard. David Cortan played some nice guitar work that was originally done by Eddie Lang. We're going to give you another chance to play some more Eddie Lang stuff. Are you ready?
Oh, joy.
I see. He's confident. He's confident. Anyway, this is called Spanish Dream. This is brass. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Let me get the saxes out here for you. Let's see how it goes here. Nice. Okay. This is called Spanish Dream. I hope there's a violin part in there. Good. Man, you can't get good paper anymore. Oh, they also had a bass saxophone player who I got a chance to meet in my youth, a wonderful man named Spencer Clark. Spencer Clark took the place of Adrian Rollini when Rollini went to Europe and other places. Okay, guys, this is a little crazy. It's a little combination of little Spanish music, what they called, and hot jazz. So good luck, everybody. Good luck. And I hope you're playing the right parts, because it sounds better if you have the right music in front of you. Okay. All right, Devin? It's all up to you. 1, 2, 2, 2. Try it again.
Let me go again, Vince.
Okay, right. All right.
All right.
Hey, how about these guys? Read that down. Spanish Dream by Jack Pettis and his Pets. All right, put that one away. Well, we're going to try that one again. I don't know. Next year. All right. Wait for the next request. Now, Paul Wells back there had a special instrument he brought in there, and because I warned him. So what did you bring in tonight for the guys that play? Castanets. But these are special castanets because they're on a board. You don't have to kind of string yourself up into that. So that's kind of neat. So that's what you heard there. Spanish Dream. We're probably one of the only bands on West 44th Street playing that tune tonight, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe the Red Blazer. No, that's out of business. Okay. I think it's time to put the charts away right now, and let's play some traditional jazz. What do you got there, John Kelso?
How about the Riverboat Shuffle?
The Riverboat Shuffle. All right. This is a Hoagie Carmichael song. Everybody knows Hoagie Carmichael, Stardust, and Georgia on My Mind, and all that stuff. And from what I read, because I never met Hoagie Carmichael, but when this tune came out, the original title of it was called Freewheeling. Freewheeling. And he told Bix it was called Freewheeling. I said, that's not a good title. Why don't you make it the Riverboat Shuffle? And voila. I speak a little French. There it is. 1, 2, 1, 2. Andy Stein. Keep drinking. Whoa! Oh, well. Yeah, man, all right. The Riverboat Shuffle. All right, there's Evan Arts up there on the clarinet. And by the way, he's got a CD that's on the table there that if you want to take home. You know, just because the holiday season is over doesn't mean you don't stop giving gifts, you know. And we have a lot of stuff there on the merch table. And folks, let me tell you, every piece of merch helps a needy family. Ours. Good. Okay. Then we got John Kelso there on the trumpet. Nice. Yeah. What do we have? Oh, Sam Chess playing his old, reliable, good old trombone there. Nice. Yeah, man. We could have had a banjo solo there by Devin Cortan. Strumming along. Nice. Our pianist, who's playing with us this week, doing a nice fill-in with a beautiful cat. I haven't seen him in a long while. He made a trip over to that little music box called the Celeste or the Celesser. That's Dan Rosengard. Yeah. Want to give us a little of that squeeze box by itself. Let's see what people think. All right, Dan Rosengard. That's too divine, as Matt Gordon would say. Okay, what? Okay. Another guy made a big switch. He didn't play his violin, he didn't play his baritone sax. He didn't complain to me. But he picked up his violinophone, his phonofiddle, his Stroh violin, the violin with the horn. That's Andy Stein. There you go. Let me tell you, he's been winning over people's in at least 3 out of every 1,000 shows we do. But one person he won over was the editor for the Syncopated Times, a wonderful publication here that you can get. We have some free copies. And believe it or not, we have this copy here, the one that has Andy Stein on the cover with his phono fiddle. So check that out. You can get this online. You can subscribe to it. If you want to find out about early jazz, ragtime, and some early swing, and people who are playing it, this is the paper to get. Syncopated Times, check that out. Nice. Also, we have our card in there, our little advertisement for what we're doing here Mondays and Tuesdays. And I'm going to be around to greet each and every one of you, if I can, to give you one of these cards, because they'll be collector's items in about 50 years, you know, along with the Andy Stein newspaper. There you go. Now, I appreciate the one person that clapped for my bass sax solo. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. No, it's okay. I wasn't looking for any more claps. One is good enough for me. Once a night is okay. And what I always say, the more you drink, the better it sounds. And the more I drink, the better I think it sounds. Let's see. How sweet it is. Back there on the timpani that you just heard, and all those great drum sounds that it's doing, that's Paul Wells on the drums. All right. Well, let's see, what else we got? Well, I think it's time now for a piano solo, because Dan Rosengard didn't play a solo on that last number. He played one on the celeste. So what are you going to play for the folks? I'll re-announce it for the people who can't hear you out in TV land there.
How about a little something from 1915?
Yeah?
By Felix Arndt. You know what it is? Nola.
Nola. Okay, that's by Felix Arndt, right?
The Arndt
Nola.
around with us anymore.
What key are you playing this in, by the
That's the
way?
people's key of D.
Two sharps. I just want to let the folks out there in radio land, TV land, whatever that, to tune up the ukulele. Put the capo on there, and we're playing in D. Okay, take it away, Dan. Yeah. How about Dan Rosengard there? Felix Arndt's Nola. And for many years, that was the theme song for Vincent Lopez and his orchestra. He used to play it. And they even made a song in the 30s where all the band started screaming, "No more Nola." But anyway, he still played it and got people happy. All right, we're going to jump up to 1929 right now and play a song that was done by Isham Jones. I don't know if any other bands performed this. Isham Jones was a wonderful band leader and also a great composer. A couple of tunes that you might have heard of, was sort of, still popular, I guess. It Had to Be You, and I'll See You in My Dreams, and many, many others. This one didn't get that fame. It's called There's Not a Cloud in the Sky, and he wrote it with Charles Newman, the wonderful lyricist, and I believe this might have been arranged by Jiggs Noble, mainly because, are we using our baritone sax section? Let me hear the other one too. That's it. That sounds like a baritone sax. With the tenor, you get that real submarine saxophone sound. There you go. Nice. There's Not a Cloud in the Sky. And Eddie Stone was the guy that sang this originally, and hope I can do some justice to it. I have a little frog in my throat that's coming out one of these days, and I'm going to put him on Broadway. All right, Not a Cloud in the Sky. 1, 2, 1, 2. Not a cloud in the sky, and I'm proud, mighty proud to tell you why. Someone sweet who you meet right away is the one who brought the sun out to stay. Now she's my little rainbow. Did she make the rain go? I don't gaze at showers, just happy days and hours. Goodbye blues, buy some shoes, spread the news. There's not a cloud in the sky. My little rainbow, did she make the rain go? I don't gaze at showers, just happy days and hours. Isham Jones, what a great composer he was. And then that was a nice little ending there. Joe Boga with that nice schmaltzy ending there. Can you play that schmaltzy ending for us again? Just, yeah, you played it, you put it away. Just that little tag. Nobody plays like...
Can I get a little support? Can the band play it with me?
Okay, all right. All right. I just love it so much.
Last 2 bars.
Last 2 bars?
3.
3 bars. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, that's it. Oh man, Mr. Schmaltz, there he is. That's great. I love that. Thank you for paying attention to detail. We're going to play a song that we play every set because we love Louis Armstrong. Now you folks know who Louis Armstrong is, I hope, right? Yeah, that's a good response. Okay, how's your fries tonight? Okay, anyway, there's a wonderful place for you to go see. I hope you'll go see it. It's called the Louis Armstrong House Museum. Has anyone been out there to see it? Okay, that's a good start. This is where Louis lived, and he had parties. He worked on some of his things, had little rehearsals there, and ultimately passed. Now it's his wonderful legacy. This is a living museum to a jazz legend in the heart of Queens. It's really easy to get to. You take the 7 train out there to Corona, Louis Armstrong House. You're greeted by Louis from a recording, like, hello everybody, you know, like that, and see all his great possessions. And right across the street is another archive, which is fantastic. Both our trumpet players have been out there, and they were allowed to play Louis Armstrong's Golden Horn, which is pretty neat. This song that we're going to play next is a big tune for Louis in the 1928 period. It had been already composed and performed by his mentor, Joe Oliver. And Joe Oliver, who also known as King Oliver, was Papa Joe to Louis. And Louis was so grateful for everything that he did, getting out of New Orleans and introducing him to the rest of the world, that Louis says, I'm going to do that great song that that Joe Oliver did, called the West End Blues. And here's John Kelso to play it for it. Play it for you. Jesus. Yes, Sam. Oh, yeah. How about those clarinets now? Who'd have thunk? Dan Rosengar. Kelso there on the trumpet. John's got this great gig every Sunday down on Spring Street. He's had it 18 or so years. give or take a few decades. And it's a place called the Ear Inn. I'm pulling on my ear so that you'll remember. What the hell is it? Have you been to the Ear Inn? Did you have a good time? Yes, of course. And John knows what he's doing. And he's got changeable personnel. Sometimes the guys change up a little bit. And it's a neat little band, and he calls it the Ear Regulars because they change. So it's good, yeah. And he's got a new CD out called Live at the Ear Inn, and it's available over there. Make sure you check it out. Sam Chess, yeah, there you go. Thank you. Sam Chess got a great solo on the trombone. And who could forget our very adventurous clarinet players who got into megaphones for that. Did you like that? The megaphones weren't on the original date, but we decided to jazz it up for you guys, you know. In case some producer from Universal Pictures comes in, you know, like I said, we're in between movies. Okay, and Dan Rosengard, okay, I shouldn't do that joke anymore. Dan Rosengard playing that beautiful piano solo. And back on the percussion section is another rare instrument that Paul has called the Baccarat box cymbals. Zooty Singleton played them on that date, and I often wondered when I listened to that recording for many, many years, what was making that sound? Well, here it is. Here's the Baccarat box cymbals for you. Yeah. All right. Wow. He gets carried away, and that's okay. I'm going to carry him right out. But anyway, if you want to listen to the original recording, great. You can hear Zooty. Now you know what he's playing. These funny little cymbals. Or if you want to hear us do the West End Blues, we just happen to have a recording of it here on this big monster record here by Riverboat, and it's record number 101. There you go. Start from the beginning. But I want to warn you that this is not a regular record. It's not at 33, and it's not at 45. It's recorded at 78 RPM. What? Yeah, I knew you'd say that. So it's got great fidelity, but you must have a 3-speed turntable. You got it, because then it won't sound right. Okay, I won't do the joke. That's it. We're getting close to our departure here. I'm sorry to say, but we had a wonderful time playing for you folks tonight. And you know, Birdland is going into its 77th year. And you know why? Because people like you come out and support live music, and that's great. Also, if you want to take a look at this great brochure that's on your table, there's a little bird playing the trumpet, and there's the melting snowman. They came to my house to take that image, except my snowman was kind of dirty. Anyway, New York snow is not too clean. But anyway, look at some of the unbelievable people that are here every week. It's like amazing. So this club really pays attention on getting some great artists for you to hear, and some wonderful singers too. And so if you like what you heard tonight, please say something nice on Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, whatever. All right. Well, we're going to close off this little set with a tune that was played by the Jimmy Lunsford Band. Jimmy Lunsford played this in the early 30s, either to start a set or to take a break. We're taking a break. And it's written by Will Hudson. We recorded this many, many years ago on an album that's out of print, thank goodness. It's called White Heat. Don't try this at home. 1, 2, 1, 2. Joe Boga!
the maestro, Vince Giordano and the fabulous Nighthawks. Have a drink, Vince. Not too much now. We got another set. Vince Giordano's Nighthawks. And as Vince mentioned, the Nighthawks are here every Monday and Tuesday night. And on Tuesdays at 5:30.
Yeah, there's some back there.
And Radio Free Birdland. If you like the music you heard, visit the Carol. She has a great assortment of CDs and LPs available at our CD card. On behalf of all of us here at Birdland, I thank you for joining us. We look forward to your next visit.